Virginia. It's Between Two Twigs with your host, Susan Jennings-Lance.
Well, hello. We're back on our little talk show, not Between Two Ferns, because we're not going to insult each other or say vulgar things, but Between Two Twigs. Today, we have with us one of my favorite people in the College of Business and Economics, somebody I've had the pleasure of working a great deal with, Mrs. Susan Maczko. I'm going to go ahead and let Susan introduce herself, tell you her title, and why it is that she's probably the most important person that you're going to meet on one of these video conversations that we're having. Who are you? Tell us about yourself.
Thank you. I'm Susan Maczko, and I am a Senior Project Coordinator with the College of Business and Economics. What that means to you is that I am going to be your academic advisor for any student who is doing, any and all students who are doing the new online business degree. I need you to know that you can call me, text me, send me an email anytime that you need any help.
This is your woman. This is the person who's going to help you get through the program. And as I said, I've worked with Susan a great deal over the last few years, and I can promise you, if ever there were an advocate who is going to look out for you, worry about you, and help you, and worry about it. I mean, she'll think about you at night and on the weekends to make sure that you're taken care of. It's going to be Susan Maczko. If I sent my children in to have an academic advisor, Susan actually is probably the first person I would send them to, because she is that good. So you're very, very fortunate to have her. So, Susan, if a student is enrolled in B Core 199 online and they're already in the Business Administration online program, how is it that they're going to interact with you?
Most likely, most students are going to contact me through email, send me an email such as, I'm lost, I need help, I need some tutoring assistance, I need whatever help may be needed, and send me an email. Then I'm going to respond back to that email and use the mixed email that you're assigned as a student, because
not Bright Eyes 99 or Sexy.
No, nothing through Gmail or Yahoo or whatever. Use your mixed email, because that's how we will communicate with the students, is through the mixed email. Actually,
that is an excellent point, because in addition, when you're talking to your professors, if we see a mixed email, you're going to get an answer more quickly. One thing that happens is that our email has this wicked spam, what is it called, clutter? This clutter thing just whips emails out and we can't see them, but it's going to let you through if you have the mixed email. So stick with the mixed email, not I love my Ford 99 or I love my Subaru 73 or whatever at Gmail or me.com. So first of all, email. And I will also say, because I work very closely with Susan, Susan's great about answering emails. All right. Okay, the other thing is, though, is that when you're emailing me, I do not have a mixed account that is usable. So you will need to use my mail.wvu.edu account. Once you email me, I will respond back. And in your email, if you would prefer that I communicate you by telephone, then send me a telephone number that you prefer I call, and also days or times. If it's Sunday night and you know you're going to be in your office on Monday and meetings, then maybe say, please try to reach me between 4 and 5 in the afternoon, or during my lunch hour, or whatever time is going to work with your schedule. And I will try to meet that. So they can actually set up phone advising appointments. Yeah. Yes. So you can say, is it possible for us to meet tomorrow at 3 o'clock? Eastern Standard Time. That's important to remember too. If you're not in Eastern Standard Time, you might want to exactly, because I do have students who are interested that may be doing this 199 class that are in California. Yeah, so we have to adjust for that. But okay, so you can set up a phone appointment. You can do everything through email. You do Skype? We are planning to set up Skype. And I'm sure it's already set up. It's just that no one's actually used it yet for this purpose, but I'm sure if you... I have not FaceTime at work, but I FaceTime my personal life. So you know how to do it. I know how to do FaceTime. Yeah, I think FaceTime's easier, but... a lot of times the best way, really, unless it's a problem that's very personal, that you prefer to have a one-on-one conversation, then email is probably the best route. Just because you can ask whatever you want, And I can have, that gives me a few minutes too to maybe, I might have to have someone, another expert within the university.
Yeah.
I might need to find out information to relay to you.
Yeah.
So,
but if you're like me, sometimes I have questions that are so complicated, it's just almost impossible to email them. So it's okay to call, and it's okay to set up a phone appointment.
yes, definitely.
And what if you're like wandering around Morgantown, like maybe you're from close by and you happen to come into Morgantown, or maybe you live in the Morgantown area, but you're doing the course online. Can we come and see you? Well, I come and see you in person, whether you want me to or not most of the time. But
yes, students can do walk-in appointments also. I caution walk-in appointments unless I know you're coming and we've arranged a time to meet, then obviously you have an appointment and I'm going to be prepared for you. If you do a walk-in into the college, you're not going to get turned away, but you may have to wait, because I do have on-campus students that I advise, and once the semester starts, there's going to be days where that's going to be pretty busy.
Yeah.
But and on the other hand, a lot of times students don't keep appointments, so you may not have a long wait. But I usually do lunch hour between 12:30 and 1:30, so I'm most likely not available during that time. However, if you know that you are only going to be in Morgantown during that time, I'll change my lunch hour. So I'm accommodating. I'm here to help you. I want you to succeed. My reward is your success. So I really want you to know that I'm available to you.
She's not kidding about that. I think that Susan is probably one of the most dedicated people I've worked with when it comes to students, because more than once I've come into her office and she has said, I'm very concerned about a student because of blah, blah, blah. She's thinking about these things, and it's wonderful to have her as your advocate. I know, because she has been working as my advocate for a long time.
Well, and another part about my life that might be encouraging is if you are the non-traditional student, you're coming back to school after you've been out of school for a while. I too was the non-traditional student.
Oh, really? Tell us about that.
So
actually, I really knew that, but
I was a non-traditional student, and I decided, I knew all my life I wanted a college education. But when I graduated from high school, for various reasons, I really wasn't as prepared as was necessary. So I did a much shorter program in another area and went to work, got married, had a family.
Was it like an associate's degree in something?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So then I was in a whole different career. I was in a health field career.
And you were married, and you had children.
Married, and I had children.
Because children are a time suck. I love my children, but you know, we've discussed the fact that my children, I mean, I was working on a PhD program, and then I got pregnant with twins. That will slow you down, getting pregnant with twins.
Yes,
so
I didn't even go back. I didn't even go back as a non-traditional student until after I already had my children. And
how old were they when you went back?
Oh wow, one was 5. I believe the youngest one was 5, and the oldest one would have been about 14.
Okay.
So, but I always knew I wanted the college education, and having an associate type degree just wasn't good enough for me. It was a personal issue. I'm not saying the associate degrees aren't enough. I'm not saying everybody needs a college education. But if it's a personal goal that you want to meet, then do it. And if you're really scared and you feel like you're not sure you can do it, maybe you've been out of school for a really long time, or maybe you haven't even been out into a workforce, maybe you worked at home, but do it.
So you went back, like you had been out of school for how long?
I had been out of school for about 17 years.
Okay, so then you went back to work on a bachelor's degree.
And was full-time working outside the home.
And you had 2
raising
kids at home.
And a husband.
All right, so full-time job, full-time at home, because let's face it, home is always full-time.
Yeah.
And then how many hours a semester did you take?
Well, and also I was at times a single parent, not because I wasn't married, but because my husband was in the Army Reserves.
I didn't know that.
And so he was off serving the country. So there were times where I was kind of like a single parent. But I decided to start out the first semester because I was nervous. I took 1 class. Mm-hmm. And it was intimidating to be going back as a non-traditional student into a class where there were 18 and 19-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. I felt that way. When I went back and worked on my doctorate, everybody was like 22 years old, and I was like 38. And that was a very difficult thing for me.
So it was intimidating, but at the same time, this will be different for you because you're not going to have to walk into that classroom and face all these 18-year-old faces. But
I figured out, and I think you did too, that even though I wasn't that age, I had a lot of life experience, and so I was actually a very good student because I was really interested.
And the faculty love the non-traditional student because you are the student that's going to put the effort in, and because you want to be there. You're not going to take these classes because you feel like you're being pressured from your parents or another guardian. You're doing it because you want it.
And you have life experience. I mean, you can take this information you're getting and put it into perspective with everything else that you've been learning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is, but if you're really nervous about it, it's been a long time, just start out with one class.
So you started out with one class. I want to focus on you here for a second. And then you took that class and you thought, okay, I can do this. And then how many would you take a semester? One?
I was taking two after that, 2 classes a semester, and once in a while I did 3. But I went year round.
And I will say, I did not do this. I mean, I not worthy, not worthy. I was working full time and I had 2 kids, and I would take one class a semester and take a semester off, and then I'd take another class and take a semester off. So I'm very impressed with that. That's a feat, and it's wonderful, and
Well, and do it year round. I mean, if you don't want to, the only concern that I would have.
I didn't do that either. Didn't do it year round.
The concern I have mostly with suggesting a part-time schedule, 1 class, 2 classes, I know that can be difficult in order to have your financial aid requirements. And so I do want you to make sure you have everything, and we can talk about this if you contact me. I want to make sure that you're not going to lose financial aid requirements, or maybe you're getting military benefits to come to school. We want to make sure that you can still get your benefits if you do go below, your full-time
and that's different
status.
for everybody, isn't it?
It is different for everybody.
It's an individual situation.
And I'm talking non-traditional student here, but when we do have students who will be coming onto this online program that are right out of high school. You are the traditional freshman.
Yay, and that's great too.
And that's great too, but if you're not full-time, it can affect your financial aid. It can also affect if you're on the Promise Scholarship. It may affect your health benefits that you might be being covered by, and it can affect possibly benefits as far as your car insurance, as to whether you're going to get your discount for being in school full-time.
It can affect your taxes too. So I think what we're trying to say is that everybody is an individual case, and you're an individual case, and we want to give you individualized attention.
And I'm here for that.
She is the queen of individual attention.
So.
So then how long did it take you to get your degree, can I ask?
Going part-time, the way I did it, took me...
And full-time working and taking care of 2 kids.
Right, it took me 6 years.
Oh, that is impressive. That is so impressive. 14 years to get a PhD doing that stuff.
Yeah, that was for the undergrad. I actually went back and did my graduate degree after that.
So then you went back and got a master's degree.
Yes.
In what?
Higher education leadership.
All right. And at that point, did you take full-time? Were you full-time at that point?
I was full-time employee, and
still had 2 kids.
Still had 2 kids. Actually, by this point, one was in college, and then I took 2 classes a semester, and again did year-round.
Okay. And so then you got a master's degree, and you worked full-time. And one of the other things about Susan, I just want to throw this out here, is she's a terrific editor and writer. She does a great job with that. She's been published, right?
I have been published. If you Google my name, you might have to go back a little ways because I haven't worked on it for a while, but yes, I am published. And I'm actually just on Sunday evening finished copy editing my 4th book for someone else, for a published author.
She is really, really good. Okay, so we have established how to reach you. We have established that pretty much everybody is an individual case, and we treat you like you're an individual case. Is there any other piece of advice you have for the students who are in the online B Corps 199 class?
Yes, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to contact me. Don't be afraid to talk to me. Don't be afraid to talk to your faculty. We're all human. See, I'm normal.
I'm not human.
I'm a very normal person.
Human. I'm a robot.
I will make mistakes just the same as anybody else, and I will admit to those mistakes, and then I'll figure out how we're going to fix that mistake. But with you, I try very hard not to make a mistake. But don't be afraid. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy. And get to know Dr. Lance.
Woohoo!
And I can tell you, make sure you do everything on time with her. And if you need to vent, I'm here.
Even if it's about me.
Even if it's about Dr. Lance. And I can keep things confidential. But
if you don't keep things confidential, actually she'll lose her job, as will I. So actually, we're really into the confidential thing.
But the whole point is read your syllabus when you get it. I didn't know when I went back to school or when I went to school about the syllabus as much as I should have. And my first instructor didn't really go over it.
Well, it's a little bit different for the online courses too.
But they're still going to have it, and they still have to read it.
Yeah.
And I want you to read it because that really gives you when things are due, your assignments are due. It tells you how much things are worth, how much the projects are worth. Read your syllabus. Don't be bashful. I don't care if you ask me a question 10 times. I'll answer it 10 times. Okay, so
she will. I ask her the same things over and over.
Reach out.
I become my grandmother.
And if I don't get back with you in 5 minutes, please give me a little bit of time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Give her 24 hours at the very least, and if it's a weekend, give her the whole weekend. Now, one more question: if it's 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night or Sunday morning, and you're thinking about this, and you're thinking, I have a question, and I know I can't find Susan. Like Susan is obviously living her life somewhere, probably asleep. Is there a website or a place you can go just to get general information to kind of make plans before they talk to you? I mean, where would you go to get information?
It really depends on the topic, but if you're trying to find out information about your program, about your academics, what classes you may need next semester, and you just really are thinking about it ahead of time, yes. You can go to the college's website and look under student, and there you can find pretty much information about your academics. You can find out about any other resources you may need. Or if you're awake and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, send me an email. I'll see it first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Although if it is Sunday morning, remember, she has a life, so she might not see it until Monday, you know.
Right, that is true. I mean, sometimes I do read emails on the weekends, but I won't guarantee I'm going to answer
balance, but
I'm not going to guarantee I will answer it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate your coming in today to sit between two twigs. And I am sure that everybody looks forward to speaking with you. Thanks.
Okay.